probably everybody knows me. I haven't spoken in a while. But I'm passing out my business cards, and I'm passing out 2 magazines. One's Boca, one's Carl Springs. You can tell the difference with the masthead, which is basically on the top. Both Father's Day ads, but they're both right off the press. So if anybody's in Boca or Carl Springs, you don't live in the area, there's good coupons. First, let me tell you a little bit about myself. I grew up in South Jersey in Cherry Hill. Came down here in the 80s. Actually 1980. I went to high school and college down here at Taravella. First graduating class, that's my claim to fame in '83. And then I went to FAU, graduated with a bachelor's in management in the hotel industry. So I worked for the Marriott chain, and I got a job at the Marriott chain. I got bored with Florida, so I went to California with my buddy in my early 20s after graduating. And I knew my dad was out there in case I had gotten in a lot of trouble or in case I needed somebody, so I went to California. Finding out that in the hotel industry, if anybody's in there, it's a lot of hours for a little less pay. The benefits were great, but the pay was terrible. So my dad was in the advertising business, sold coupons in a $1 billion company. So he took me under his wing. I learned his industry, and I was selling coupons in the back of the supermarket receipts. So they have it here also, the Winn-Dixie still. And then I traveled all across the country training, and I came back to Florida. I was still single, came back to Florida. My mom was still here, so I came back down here. And then I ended up in Jacksonville, lived there for many years. Met my wife down here, got set up, and then the rest is history. Then I transferred back to South Florida, and now I have 3 kids, 19, 17, and almost 12. And my kids go to the charter, and that's me in a nutshell. What I want to talk about is, besides the magazine, I want to talk a little bit different avenue with advertising, okay? Because obviously you can see it, I can say this is the best thing, blah, blah, blah. I'm not going to really do that. Maybe at the end of my presentation, but not now. What I want to talk about is you guys. Now I know most of you guys, and I know some of you guys do advertising. Okay, and I want to show a show of hands. And obviously, if you don't advertise with me, trust me, I don't get offended. Okay, but I want to know who actually does some advertising in this room.
Me with you.
I know you do. Raise your hand. I've seen you on a park bench.
Right, that's it. 2 mustaches.
I sat on you once.
Don't put arrows. I don't consider advertising because they're arrows in my office.
He's still incriminating. You have a bag with him when he was on the bench.
Now my point is, and I'm not going to throw Elliot under the bus. I like teasing him.
Under the bench.
Or under the bench. But that's the only type of advertising. How much do you pay for the bench? I'm curious. Seriously, is it a year?
So first of all, the reason I don't consider advertising is that I use it as a billboard towards my office, with arrows towards my office. I pay $3,500 a year for both of them.
Oh, you have 2 benches?
One on each side of the street.
Now the reason, because I brought, obviously, some of you guys live in Plantation down south, but in North Broward and Boca and Carl Springs, I brought every advertising that I've seen, and I'm one of the strongest in this area. But I just want to show you different advertising out there who lives in Springs Parkland I've seen. And I'm going to show you some differences. Obviously, you got Money Mailer, which is a dying dinosaur. It's almost like Valpak. Okay, they mail 10,000. The bottom line is with advertising, like I said, I can show you guys and say, look at the paper. You guys don't care about that. You want to know what the bottom line is with advertising. How much does it really cost? You don't care if this is gold or you just want to know the results. I mean, I can mail 1 and you get a $10,000 job. That's all you care about is the results and how much it costs. They mail 10,000 copies, 10,000 in an envelope. Okay? When you get this, what do you guys mostly do with this stuff? You keep the good year and you shit can the rest. That's what I do. I mean, I could be wrong. I mean, granted you go through this, but I don't even open this up anymore. This in Valpak goes in the trash. They only mail 10,000, and they probably charge you $300 per 10,000. So it's $30 1,000. That's how you have to think of advertising. The bottom line is. Okay, now you got postcards, and Ruben can test a lot of these postcards. Okay, these postcards, you got them all there with the realtors and everything else. Normally they go for about, let's say, 10 cents a copy. So if you're only mailing 1,000 copies, it's costing you $100. Okay, If you mail 5,000 copies, it might cost you $500. It's a lot of money as a solo piece to get your name out there, even though it's every door direct EDDM. I mean, when I get this, obviously, and this is actually a lady we don't like. Obviously, I saved this for the purpose. It's my sister-in-law's relative or whatever, so we shook hand it anyway. But so if you know this woman, you can throw darts at her. But my point is, when you get these postcards, I didn't look this, or on the door, you get the same realtors on the door. Does anybody look at this stuff? No, nobody looks at this stuff. Well, wait.
Unless it's designed by me, they look at it.
Right. But unless it's, I mean, obviously I get a lot of pressure cleaners, I get a lot of painters, and I get nothing against painting. I get that all the time in my door. And I have saved one painter company years ago that I did save. But the point is, this is very expensive.
The only reason I should be saving those is the leads.
Exactly, well that's true too. I save these all the time. But these are very expensive. Go ahead. Oh yeah, they are. I save them anyway. No, I mean, I'm just telling you, I'm putting myself in your shoes with advertising. I save this anyway. I make phone calls. These are my, you ever see the movie Glenn Ross?
Yes.
This is my Glenn Ross leads. These are my laid down leads. Go ahead, Dr. Scott.
Are door hangers effective at all? I mean, you're asking about the stuff in the mail, but if somebody actually puts a nice looking door hanger on your door or the mailbox, does that have any?
You know what? I might look at it, but I'll still throw it away. I mean, I could be wrong. I mean, what's the consensus? If you see a door hanger, somebody puts it on the door, strongly your landscapers or your home improvement type people that do that walk around the neighborhoods.
It's if you have a need for that at that time.
Right. Next, I have. What else do I have? This is the same thing.
Like what? I'm going to put the door.
Get this, the Parklander. Okay, this comes in the mail, I believe. Right, it does come in the mail. This is very nice. Okay, this is very strong stock. I know these people very well, the Parklander, the Parkland Life, all that stuff. It's a very nice magazine. Obviously, my wife reads the articles, but they have a lot of ads in here. I think it's more for articles. Again, I'm not going to bash these people because I know them, and I think it's a very good form of advertising. It's very expensive. They don't mail that. They mail out probably 20,000 copies. Okay? Stock is about, and obviously Ruben knows, it's about 80 pound stock. Stock is very strong. But if you get it, nobody doesn't look at the ads. Nobody's going to rip out a coupon out of this. This is basically for bathroom reading material. Again, no disrespect to these people. I'm being honest. And here, this is my biggest competitor. I think I'm number one in the marketplace. I could be number 1.2 or 2. The Clipper's my biggest competitor. I always compare people who do the Clipper. I don't call these people anymore because if they're in this, why would they want to be in mine? It's the exact same thing. It's almost like I'm wasting my breath pitching somebody that's in the Clipper. Obviously, if you're comparing apples to apples, you see the difference. Mine's bigger, the paper's stronger, and what else I do is, this I was taught in Sales 101, that they have numbered pages on here. RM is like regional. The middle stuff is all regional stuff. So if you put out the local stuff, it's only like 4 pages of local advertising. That's all it is. The front 2 and the back 2 are only local. Everything else is all regional companies all over the country. And they do it every 6 weeks. The pricing is about competitive in mine, it's about the same price. But if you're comparing mine's a local magazine, that's all it is. I don't do articles. I have a niche. Mine's just a coupon magazine, end of story. I was gonna do articles, but I said, you know what, let me do something that, why change something that's not broken? Why change anything? So it's a coupon magazine of local ads, that's all it is.
Hey Sandy, just to comment on the Parklander, I had advertised in Parkland Life for probably 5 years, and it wasn't cheap, and what the agreement was that as long as I paid for the advertisement, they would grant me space for an article. And I found that the article got me more business than the actual ad did.
Right.
And,
Yes.
But I didn't get a whole lot of new clients. What I got was a lot of people that knew me already, that just solidified that I did what I did. So I would say I got more phone calls from other advertisers looking for clients.
And you're going to get, you know, if you're advertising, you're going to get, like I said, people like me are going to call you. You're going to get advertisers who are going to call you because you're in this book. That's what we look for.
Right.
But back to the Parkland, there also is. Now tell me if I'm wrong. Do they you need to commit with these people, don't you? Like 3 months or 6 months?
I did 12 months in the clip.
12 months.
And the
So you
only
got to
reason I
commit
didn't
to
renew
12
was
months.
that they never called me back after my contract expired. I didn't get a call back, so it just kind of lapsed, and I never went back.
So can you imagine committing to 12 months?
Do you get an article with that?
Yeah, that's what I negotiated in. And it's a win-win for them because now they have some content that they can at least fill the book with.
But can you imagine 12 months? What if it doesn't? What if you're pissed off in 2 months? You can't get out of it. You can try and sue them. The way I solicit, or I don't want to say pitch because I don't like that word. The way I talk about my magazine is I'm from the old school. I mean, look how I'm dressed. I'm not a typical business person. I'm very casual what I do. I don't go in with a briefcase. I don't do contracts. I tell people I'm from the old school. Give me a shot. If it works, just stay with me. If it doesn't work, no harm from it. You know what? I don't care because I know eventually it's going to come back to me. I have people that leave me and they come back all the time. Obviously, everybody knows The Spectator. If you live in Springs, I love this magazine because it's for my kids for sports. It's a great niche in the marketplace. It's mailed. I read it. It's all about all the sports and everything else that goes in here. But they do have some ads in here also that's been in here for years. They must have the same advertisers that don't leave this magazine. I mean, they have my what do you call it? The guy that did my shoulder. Yeah. Dr. Gelb has been in here, I think, probably 20 years. Okay, and but this, like I said, this is a great thing. It's mailed, but again, their niche is more about sports, not about ads. And then you got these little things that are inserts in the flyer and the penny saver, the money saver. Everybody's heard of the money saver. It's a little this probably costs $100 for the advertisers. But it's lost. It's inserted in like the Sun Sentinel. You get this in your home. Now, the last couple ones I have the Coconut Creek Life, same thing as the Parkland Life. I grabbed it from the Coconut Creek Chamber. It's the same thing as the Parkland Life. They do advertise, have a lot of advertising in here, but the bottom line is, like you said, they're here more for ads, they're more for articles. Us and the Clipper are the only ones that do actually advertising and no articles. You got, now if you're in Boca, this is another one of my competitors, Improve. Very similar, he copied my format to a T. He used to own Coupon Express in Boca. Now this is very, very similar. These are all my advertisers. I mean, he went through and copy and pasted these are all my ads. These are all my customers that I really don't have any kind of legal ground to go after him because, like I said, I don't want to sue anybody because I don't want to involve any more lawsuits. But these are all these are all my advertisers that they basically just scan for my magazine and put in their book. But I mean, you can tell the difference. Again, this is probably 40-pound stock, very thin. It's only 16 pages, and this is my cover. I mean, you can see. Exact same covers. So you know what? But that's okay. You know, and he's a realtor also. His own real estate ad is in here, so he gives away a lot of ads himself, which I noticed. I've beaten up this magazine so many times. Let's see if I can find this ad.
I think we should get an attorney.
Let's see. Ikeyami, by the way. If you guys are ever in Boca, I have it also. It's one of my favorite customers. Ikeyami is the best sushi restaurant by far in South Florida. It blows away Shinju, any other restaurant, just to let you guys know. Ikeyami. It's in Meisner. It's all you can eat sushi, but I can't find his ad, but he advertised himself in here. My point is, I could tell you I'm mailing 1 million copies. I show everybody proof of mailing. This guy says he mails 50,000 copies and all of Boca, and there's no way, there's so many homes in Boca, there's no way you can do that. And I asked my friends and customers, nobody's seen this. I don't know where he mails it to. The difference I have in the marketplace, again, I'll go back to my magazine. These two from India. The difference is I mail 45,000. I show everybody proof of mailing, which is a 3602 from the post office. It literally shows how many I mail. I'll give you the zip codes. I'll give you every carrier route I mail it to. And a carrier route is basically, anyone knows what a carrier route is? Each development has carrier routes. There's like 500 homes on every carrier route. I have that broken down to a T. So I can give you the carrier routes. Also, I'm in every Publix in these cities. Nobody's in them. So for the worst small chance that you don't get in your home, go to Publix. I have a rack with my name on it that I pay a lot of money for, that I have a guy that distributes it every Publix. He runs around there every week to every Publix. So for the small chances you need extra coupons, I know, like you keep asking for squads, like we're trying to get certain advertisers, but you can always stock up and get certain coupons, like Red Ginger, I know Steve was talking about, and certain customers. But that's basically my niche. Like I said, this is 60-pound stock. Now I'll give you a breakdown what mine is. 60-pound stock. It's full color, it's glossy, it's mailed. Okay. The ads are pretty sharp, and there's one ad in here in particular that I want to show you. This ad. You guys recognize this ad?
Richard Silk.
This is Richard Silk's ad.
USA.
Exactly. You know what? It's a simple ad. He's an adjuster. There's really not much you can do to it, but it's a nice, simple ad that stands out on the page. And that's what we do. We make every ad different. And obviously, I appreciate Richard for the business. One last thing I want to mention. My next magazine, I do bi-monthly, which means every other month they're in the homes. The next one is July 13th. If you guys have any interest, I go to print July 1st for the July 13th. It'll be in the homes in Coral Springs, Parkland, Creek. And that's it. When I say it's in the homes for the last 20 years, I've never missed a date. It's in the homes July 13th, guaranteed it's on a Wednesday. I know the post office like the back of my hand. It's in the homes. And there's good coupons in there also. Blue agave, I ate it the first time this week. The food is very good. Oh my God, man, the food is
We've
ridiculous.
eaten there, but last time we were there,
It's so much. I mean, if you guys like Mexican, it's very good food. Service is slow, but very good food. That's it. Any questions, comments?
yeah, I have two questions. Question one is, I as you know, I'm very loyal to your ad with the pepperoni grill. I bring it in every week, and it's and my friends, I shouldn't say my friends, people of a younger generation, when they see me schlepping this ad around, they say, "What are you doing? Just bring it up on your phone." And say, what kind of threat is that going to pose in the future? And the second question is, at what point in time do you reach saturation where you're considering selling and moving into a different city or a different area?
I can always add cities. Let's back up to the first question. Again, like I said, I'm from the old school. I don't have a website. I used to. I don't do a lot of social media with this. I'm like, this is the magazine. If I was up north, this might not be successful anymore. Down here, coupon magazines are so successful. But like I said, with the app and all that stuff, I'm not into all that stuff. Here's the magazine, it's mail, that's all. I don't want to get into I don't have too many options with the magazine. I'm a very simple person. It's mailed, it's glossy, you get results. I love when people, my roofer, Deal Casino Roofing, he got a $5,000 job yesterday. I mean, these people have been with me, they committed to a full year in both my books, they pay a lot of money, pay me in front and full, and they get a lot of response. He said I'm the best advertising out there. That's my best form of referral, when they say I'm the best thing out there. So, all I can do is mail, but I don't want to get into the apps and the phones and like everyone else is trying with Groupon and all this other technical stuff. Mine's simple. But the other question is,
The other question, at what point do you reach a saturation where you have to be selling? And,
I like to hire people. I like to expand. I had 2 counties, you know, when I first started. I had all Broward and Palm Beach. I closed everything. I really didn't close. I walked away from everything but Boca and Coral Springs. So eventually I can get back in those cities. I can go up north, any cities I want to. Right now, it's almost like Pepperoni Grill. They have one location. They're doing phenomenal. You don't want to get. I'm big enough that I'm making great money. Do I need to expand? Do I need to, like the city news? This is another one that I forgot to talk about. You guys get this in the home also. I know them very well. I know City News. I know the whole story. I know they sold it, blah, blah, blah. But the bottom line is, this is mailed to 15,000 copies. This guy is opening franchises in every city. And he's getting hurt because people are starting magazines and they're not finishing it. I don't want to do that. I don't want to start something in Deerfield or Lighthouse Point or Pompano, and then that means I got to go there and finish it. I want to make sure if I'm going to hire somebody or expand, it's got to be the right situation. A guy wants a apartment in Fort Lauderdale, but I don't want to start expanding because then I'm taking away from these 2 books. So it's too much sometimes. I'm happy. I'm content. You know what? I pay for everything. I have no expenses, no bills, and I have a good life right now. So I don't need to get any bigger than I want to. Unless someone wants to buy me out, that's a different story. Any other questions?
Pricing?
Pricing is very competitive. I'll give you an idea what my pricing is. I have 3 sizes. Where's my I have 3 sizes. Obviously the cover, I'm in Massage Envy. I hate this ad. This is what they send me. I think it's an ugly ad, but that's okay. My other cover, guy loves it. Gets response every time. Cover goes for $3,000. Okay. Back cover is $19.95. Everything's negotiable,
And
obviously.
is that for how, for one?
For 2 months for 1 issue. It's only 1 issue. I don't lie to people. It's only mailed once, but it's in the Publix. It's for 2 months. Because people say it's mailed once. No, it's only mailed once. I'm not going to say I mail it twice in 2 months. I don't do that. But when they say, why is it 2 months? Because I come out again in 2 months. And people sometimes don't understand that. Izuma, if you ever eat there, by the way, if you went line to page 3, it's a great restaurant. Full page is, I charge a full page $1,000. Half page is $500. I have a third, it's $400, and a quarter page is $300. Very easy numbers for me to remember, because I'm not good at math. So I'll go 5, 4, 3. Very easy for me.
You're a very simple man.
Very simple. So when people say, what's your pricing? I don't have to look it up. I know what it is. I got quarters. Exactly. I mean, it's all Greek. They only do a quarter page. They get a great response. I'm shocked. Normally the small ads don't do as well. You know. Here's Pepperoni Grill, by the way. As Elliot said, I go there at least twice a week. They have the best Italian food. So everybody should check it out. Mike and Chris are the owners, by the way.
Do you find that you have to replenish your Publix, or?
Yeah, there's certain Publixes that go, either unless somebody's actually throwing them all out, but there's 2 Publixes that are always empty. So, and one of my reps, I pay him I think $40 a week to replenish all the stores. The one in Coconut Creek on Lyons and Coconut Creek Parkway is always empty with those old people from Winmore. They're always gone. And the other one on, I think it might be this one. One of these, there's 2 Publixes. The other Publix is, it's not as fast as it should be. That's okay.
Yeah, but that's an important thing. I mean, because you say you only do 1 mailing, but really, when you say for 2 months, it's out there for 2 months.
Exactly.
You make sure that they're replenished.
And I drop it off. I print an extra 2,000 copies. If people let me put them in, I'll leave them here, I'll leave them anywhere. I don't care. But certain businesses doesn't want it in the restaurants or stores, because why would I come into your place and use a coupon already? I'm already there. So I understand that philosophy, but you know, for the most part, I leave them wherever I can, because I got a whole box full in my car that, you know, I leave them at the chamber. I'm a member of the Coral Springs Chamber. You know, I'm not a big chamber advocate. I only go once a month to breakfasts because I don't do a lot of networking at night because of my kids. But I go in the mornings, at least once a month I make an appearance. And any other questions, Joel? You okay?
Yeah, no, I had that same problem.
I noticed that there's a little difference between the bokeh. Do you know into the bokeh as well? Or
Well, my book is 24 pages. This is my philosophy. And actually, you know what? My dad's 82 years old, and he doesn't work hard for me anymore. He gives me great advice every day. The bottom line is, on Coral Springs, it's 32 pages. Okay? It's all about profit. It takes me 4 weeks to put out a Coral Springs book. It's 32 pages. If it was less, I'd have to do it in less time because obviously I have more expenses. It's all about the bottom line. The book is 24 pages. The summer is the worst time in Boca. It's very seasonal. Everybody's gone. So I mean, obviously you know that. Everybody's gone in Boca. So I want to get through my Boca mailer, which is coming out now, which is this book. It's hitting the homes this week, and I got to do that in 3 weeks. If I don't do it in 3 weeks, I break even basically. It's not even worth me doing. So if I do it in 3 weeks, I make a couple dollars. So this is basically every 6 weeks magazine. This is every 8 weeks. The bigger the magazine, sorry, the bigger the magazine, I could take it longer. I like this to get to 40, but not too big, because then the postage changes. Over X amount, then there's the weight. So I think 48 is the max I can go, otherwise then I'm at a different level. So right now my postage is the same, regardless of this size or this size.
Okay, so when you pay to go into our area, you don't get into both, but you can work out a deal.
Exactly, exactly. Go ahead, Dr. Scott.
Does anybody use Groupon here by any chance? Like actually advertise with Groupon?
I buy them all the time.
Yeah. I mean,
They used to be very strong.
yeah, I still I use Groupon. That's like my main advertising right now, and that seems to be working the best. I've tried everything else, mailers, everything. Would it benefit you to do something, maybe, just something similar to that?
I did. Remember I think about 2 years ago I did the Groupon thing, and that's what really hurt me.
It hurt you?
It hurt me. I was a one-man show trying to sell, giving away free ads, but hopefully getting the redemption so I get the money back. That's how Groupon works. In other words, if I sell you Groupon, you're not paying anything up front. So obviously I'm putting you on a website. Hopefully you get the return, so hopefully some of the money goes back to me.
Well, you get a good percentage of the money back.
Yeah, but the percentage is so small from, you know
Really?
what? I only had 5,000 subscribers. I'm not like Groupon. I didn't have 100,000 subscribers.
No, I understand.
I couldn't get enough people to check my website.
But
That's-
It works well for yours, what
Right.
you do, but for Ken, for painting, it would not, that print ad is much better. If we decide to do ads, Groupon wouldn't be as good for painting. For my business, neither, I don't think print ad or that would work, but something where I do presentations.
restaurants.
Well,
But
Groupons are good. Well, restaurants get
and
buried in
service
Groupon.
businesses.
Yeah, that's what.
They get buried, but the best thing for Groupon is normally besides yours is spas and those type of places. They do the best on Groupon.
Yeah, I'm just wondering if you kept your the same name and just had. I mean, you said you did it, but you did it by yourself. Maybe you needed to have somebody that's savvy in that. I don't know.
Other than the establishment collecting the coupons, do you offer any kind of tracking mechanism like?
Yeah, I have a call tracking that I can actually do for somebody with a special number. So they can track it. I get the emails every day, how many responses they're getting. I send it to the customer. I did it for my fencing customer. So I get charged like $50 a month. I can put you in as a special number. So you can actually track it. Because, and that's a good point, and I'll leave this because I know it's getting late. On my ads, it all say SS. I don't want anybody else getting my credit. I don't want the clip or anybody else. Because when people, like you're a business owner, and you see the response, you don't know if it's mine or the clipper or anything else. So I put SS. Same thing with the call tracking, it has my number to it. So I get the credit. So I don't want somebody else, well, I didn't get a good response, but I see all these coupons. They're all mine. It's not, you know what, that's the most frustrating part, is that people get the credit for what I do. Thank you.
Good job, Sandy. Way to go.
Over the years owning the business, we were in multiple advertising things over the years, radio, TV, multiple print things. And I was one of Sandy's customers for many years in the South when it was the other name. I can't remember the name of it, but and I stuck with it. And for whatever reason, and we kept track of all of our marketing efforts through the office. And for whatever reason, I don't know if there's some magical reason, but Sandy's publication always consistently worked for us. That we would get probably 2 or 3 a week jobs with Sandy's coupon. Now the other advertisers I was in the Hometown Quarterly, Michelle and those people. It was like a big goose egg for the most part. Rarely, sometimes I would, but maybe 4 or 5 a year. But kudos to Sandy, and that's why I always stuck with him. That it worked. It worked for us.
You sold your business.
I sold the business, right? And then those guys didn't want to advertise. So.
All right, so a couple of things. First question is to Sandy, and you all should be doing this. Like Sandy's walking around with his competitors' flyers or competitors' magazines. If I were you, I would be going to those people who advertise in those magazines or publications and say, hey, here's why I can help you. Here's where I could improve your numbers. Here's where my magazine is better.
It only becomes like, let's make a deal. If I go to my competitors, I just gotta beat the price. And I'm more about, not about the price. So I always go for new businesses or those aren't my biggest leads anymore for some reason the Clipper. Because like I said, they're already in that magazine. It's the same thing. Unless I'm a lot cheaper, why would they want to switch to me?
Okay. More effective. All right. Go ahead, Elliot.
And I just want to credit Sandy also on his magazine. I see a lot of these other publications going out. And, you know, my commenting about the internet is just funny. I ordered graduation pictures, and the office manager says you got to go on the coupon code Google coupons and blah 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 blah. You have to stay in your realm. You know, I always hear talk about these automatic cars in 7 years. There'll be no more car accidents. I can't worry about that. I'm 55. You know, I gotta stay where I am in the present and just make a living. But it's very interesting. His response to me is he can't worry about it. This is working, and you stay in the present in your business. That's what you have to do. You can't worry about threats all the time.
Right. Yeah. Give away stuff.
I like there's a debate. I'm sorry.
Yes.
Did you say 55 or 65?
I said 35. I said 55.
Anyway, so basically what you need to know is that, and this is true with any business. If like Dr. Scott was saying, he advertised in a different, or Jim was saying he advertised with a different type of company. You're doing Groupon. He did with Sandy. You have to figure out what type of, or what form of advertising really works for you. You also have to realize, like for instance, how many of you go to this Publix in your daily business or daily travels? I do. I am so annoyed every time I go to Publix. There's this, I'm gonna say, cleaning person who puts that little business card like this in my car door. You ever see that jammed in there?
Yeah.
That annoys me to no end. Why are they doing it? Because they consistently get business that way.
What do you do with that card? Do you throw it on the ground, or what do you do with that card?
I'd like to throw it on the ground, but I don't. I take it and crumble it like this and put it in my car. Then I throw it somewhere. But the point is that also I had a friend who had that happen to him, and he went after the card poker or whatever, because what happens is that if it rains and it gets stuck and then it dries on there, it's not easy to get off either. It's annoying, you know? But really what you have to do as a business professional, all of you, have to figure out what you're doing with your advertising. Which brings me to the next thing. Sandy mentioned that you have to track. You really, I don't care what kind of advertising you're doing, you need to track it. That's how you really know if you're getting the bang for your dollar. And if you're not tracking it, I don't care who's your advertiser, you're wasting money. You are just flushing money down the toilet. You'll never know. And, you know, like for instance, some of us advertise in different ways that we feel are you gotta know. Because there may be one you think you're getting bang out of and you're not. The last example I'll give you is, I can't tell you how many people say to me, I saw your ad on TV. I go, you did? Well, what's fascinating about that? I don't advertise on TV. But do you think I'm gonna say, oh, well, yeah. Oh, you're right. How do I look? Right. There you go. All right, everybody. We'll see you next week. Bye.
Wow, that
Let's
was
go.
bang boom.
Is that time?
All right.